All right, so I'm gonna go over my prop firm stats for the last 2 months because I think it gives you guys a really good perspective on how I'm kind of looking at it. You gotta like kind of realize at the end of the day, prop firms is a business. Like this game of passing evals and getting payouts is a game of money in versus money out. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm looking at it on a monthly basis and also kind of give you a transparent view of my current stats so far, even though they're not the best. Because I believe this YouTube space is kind of infected with a lot of people just kind of like showcasing fake results just to kind of sell you on some course or something like that. And I just kind of want to give a little bit of more of a realistic view on it, especially in my current phase, because I feel like a lot of traders are in the same phase as me, where we're just kind of unprofitable. Or not unprofitable fully, but like we're kind of, teetering that line between break even. We're spending money on evals, but not really necessarily getting anything back. So I'm going to go over my stats in the last 2 months with January and February. Also, all of these stats are with Apex. That's the firm that I mainly use now. If you use a different firm, drop it in the comment sections below of what firm you use and why specifically. The reason why I use Apex is because I guess, evaluations are so cheap. And right now I understand that I'm in a phase where I'm not passing that many evals, and we'll get into looking at it in a second. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at prop firm expenses. So we're gonna look at from January and February. So we'll start with January. So January, we spent a total of $155 on trading expenses alone. Now, we had bought 3 evals in January for a total of $58.50. And then we had passed one of those evals, so we had to pay activation fees of a nice little 65 buckaroonies. Wow, that was fucking corny. Sorry. Next, so that gives us a total of $123 in firms alone. Now, I use Quantower, and I specifically use the volume analysis feature of Quantower. So I have to factor in my overhead costs when it comes to trading. So that's $31 for Quantower every single month. So that gives us a total of $155 that got spent on trading alone that month. And then for the total of January, we did not make any payouts. So we did have, at the time, we had 2 funded evals. But one of them we had lost, I think, I don't know if it was towards the end of this month or beginning of towards the end of January or the beginning of February. But we had lost one of them, putting us down to one funded account. And on this funded account, we haven't started trading it yet. Mainly because I always like to have more than one funded account. It gives me a sense of comfort knowing that I can, trade my normal way with this funded, and whatever happens, I have another one that I can fall back on. So I usually don't trade funded accounts unless I have more than one. If you think that's flawed in any way, please let me know. I'm kind of blinded to my own perspective, and I can't really see, outside of it currently. I just kind of know it gives me a sense of comfort. But if you feel like there's another more, I don't know, effective way, just drop it in the comment section below. That'd be really helpful. Let's get into the month of February. So February, we had a little bit more expenses on evals, but it wasn't as expensive as January just because of the sole fact that we didn't kind of pass any eval. So total in firms, right? We had bought 5 evals with Apex again, which totaled us $97.50. And of course, I haven't taken into account yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to buy Quantower tomorrow. Today is Monday the 16th, so I think it's some holiday. I'm not going to trade today. So I'm buy it tomorrow when I get the chance, but that's going to be another $31.50 on Quantower. Another thing that I didn't mention is that I'm actually kind of going to I'm going to have another expense. So I'm going to be having another $80 in expenses. Can you solve it for me, please? Please, please, please. You're really gonna do me like this on broad television? That's crazy. Let me try again. Plus, beep. Come on, Apple, don't let me down. Okay, fuck you. You let me down. All right, so pretty much that's gonna be $209, right? Total. And the reason why is because I'm gonna be buying Bookmap and level 2 data. So that's gonna be an extra 209. The reason why I'm looking to get into Bookmap is because the way I trade, I think it'll be quite helpful. I've tried it out twice before, but this third time I have more of a solid trading strategy. So I think that would be a little bit more helpful when it comes to just knowing how to use it a little bit more, knowing how to use the key levels and whatnot. If you want me to drop a video on how I'm planning to use it, no problem. Just, again, let me know in the comment sections below, okay? So let's look at total spent so far. So total spent so far is 155 plus 129. So in January, we spent 155. In February, we spent 129 to equal up to 284 currently. Now, another thing is we're also going to be buying Bookmap, so we can do plus an 80 bucks, and that will be a total of 364 total we spent in the last 2 months on trading alone. Now, this is the neat part, right? Because I'm keeping my expenses low. If you notice, literally one payout puts me back in the green for the last 2 months. So that's something that, like, okay, cool. Once you start getting consistent with trading, you don't really have to too much worry about it, because I would want to say risk to reward is really good. So you have the ability to make back all the expenses in the last 6 months in one payout. And that's the neat thing about it, right? They can put you in the green automatically. As you can see, I've made 0 in the last 2 months. Been a really rough 2 months for me trading. I kind of have to get back to the drawing board, but I don't really want to go talk too much about that, because the next thing I want to talk about is prop stats. Let's talk about prop stats. So I'm gonna go over this really quickly, right? Because I think this is really important to know. It kind of gives you a sense of how much you're gonna need to spend. So currently, I have passed 1 out of 8 prop firm challenges that I've taken. Now, I think this month I've only traded 3 out of the 5 that I purchased. So there's still like 2 more. So really it's more like 1 out of 6. But we're gonna just overestimate and say 1 out of 8 right now. Currently, that would leave me with 1 divided by 8 would leave me with a 0.125 pass rate, or a 12% pass rate. Which to me is not where I want to be. I want to kind of get this pass rate number up to about 30%. So that means that every 10 challenges I'm taking, I'm passing 3 of them. And then if every 10 that I'm passing 3, if every 10 I'm passing 3, and then 1 of them is getting to a payout, and then I take, let's say, I don't know, 1,000 out. So let's say with 10 evals, 1950, my total would be, solve $195 spent on evals, and then out of that $195, right, 3 of them would get to, like, let's say activation, and let's just say activation is $65. 65 times 3 is also going to equal 195. Is that true? Hold on, I gotta fact check. Wait, 60 times 3 is 18. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so 195 should equal 390. Okay, so that's more like it. So 390, and then, like, okay, 390, let's say my first payout's $1,000 minus 390. That gives us, oh my God, whoops, minus, what was that, 4 that they just did? Yeah, that's 4. So minus 50. So then, like, now if I can get to a 30% pass rate, and then out of that 30%, I can get, I don't know, 1 of them to a payout, right? So out of 30%, I can get 33% of funded accounts to a payout of $1,000. That will literally put me at every 10 evals that I buy, I'll have a net profit of $610. And you just kind of keep going and just let the money game, keep printing itself out. So now we kind of know what we need to do, right? Our goal is to get our pass rate from 12% to 30%. Now, the biggest changes that I need to make in order to make this happen is, 1, I definitely need to be a lot more patient with the trades that I'm taking. So I would say patience is key. And if you didn't see my last video, I'm basically just waiting at least 2 to 3 minutes before I take that next trade, right? Putting a buffer so I can get back to, like, my mental level and kind of reset, so I can find the opportunities that best suit me, right? Another thing that I'm going to try out as well too is I'm going to try and look at Bookmap. So I'm going to try out Bookmap to see if it improves my my eval, right, or improves my pass rate. So currently we're at, let's say worst case scenario, 8 challenges, we're at 12%. I'm gonna try Bookmap for another 8 challenges, or another 8 evals, and after those 8 evals, I want to see, like, okay, cool, are we better than 12% with Bookmap, or are we at the same, or did we pass none, right? So we're gonna use Bookmap, and the main way I'll use it, I'll get into more depth in a later video, of course, but I'm just kind of planning to use it as to see the level 2 where the orders are, and see how we react at highs and lows, because my strategy is a breakout strategy, and I really want to see momentum with the breakout. So I'm going to use Bookmap as a second chart where I could kind of get a little bit more of a detailed view of what's going on, so I can start to find the patterns that lead to the momentum breakouts that actually give me the 10 or 20 point runs that I'm looking for. or like the little hints before the breakout happens, the little patterns that happen that tend to result in more breakouts or more momentum breakouts. That's what I'm using Bookmap for. I'm trying to get a little bit more of a detailed view. So yeah, these are the main two things that I'm looking to like implement, right? Patience, which is just basically like 2 to 3 minute wait time, or cool down period is a good way to call it. Cool down period. That's gonna write dawn, isn't it? My handwriting is god awful. Cool down period, right? Oof. And then I want to use Bookmap to kind of identify more detail. So this was my monthly update. I'm gonna do another one of these videos on probably March 16th-ish with the updates from the changes that I'm making. Hopefully by then I'll probably have taken another 8 evaluations so I can kind of get a little bit more data. Hope you guys learned something from this video. This is how like I'm viewing it from like a business perspective, because at the end of the day, this got to make sense, right? It has to have some sort of income coming in. You have to have some sort of cash flow coming in from it. And this is just basically how I'm viewing it, to take myself out of all of the mental battles of trading, because I don't think it's as serious as it needs to be. If you guys got any tips, advice, drop it in the comment sections below. Don't drop anything on strategy. Don't need that. But if you have any tips or anything else that's outside of strategy, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. And what else? Oh no, that's really it. You know my motto, be a problem solver, and see you guys next time. Until the last time.